Podcast. Good morning. Good morning. Marathon OG. What? Episode 23. Episode 23. Y'all, let's go. North American Weed Tour, baby. North American Weed Tour. Turn off the lights. Turn off the mic. Run out some flight. Let's all get right. It's that shit you waited for your whole fucking life. It's that shit you waited for your whole fucking life. I got that good. Still in the hood. Let's go. Yeah. 6-figure niggas in them V12s. No 10 niggas, so you see well. My Cuban land. 14K. My presidential. I wear it every day. It emphasizes how I'm enterprising. I can't relate to dicky pockets, so I emphasize it. You check the file and niggas say I come on. Woo! Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We gotta go live. We gotta go live on the gram. It's the day one North American Weed Tour. You know we gotta go live on the gram. You know we gotta go live. Here we go. Let me get my little thing set up over here. You know we gotta go live on the gram. One moment. Here we go. Morning Joint Podcast. Here it is. Yo. All right, you guys. Morning Joint Podcast. What's good? Your boy JP checking in, man. Respect my region. We on episode 23. We coming in hot. It's day one North American Weed Tour, you guys. I hope you guys are ready for 5 months of cannabis content, culture, reviews, products, everything. Today, we're going to get right into it because we've got some exciting announcements to make. North American Weed Tour starts today. Reviews start today. Podcast interviews start today. Content starts today. Instagram starts today. Motherfucking Twitching starts today. You know what we smoking right now? Playing no games. All right, so first things first. Let's dive right in. Morning Joint Podcast, episode 23. Let's go. I'm going to dive right in. Are you guys ready? Bam. Okay. First things first, y'all. Okay. North American Weed Tour. We are debuting 17 original podcasts. We're going from doing like 3, maybe 4, to a total of 21 to 22. So I hope you guys are excited. We are officially debuting 17 original cannabis podcast series as part of the second annual North American Weed Tour. I'm going to read through this briefly for you guys so you guys can get an idea of what we got going down, okay? Respect My Region's second annual North American Weed Tour is officially underway. Let's go! We are pleased to announce the launch of 17 original podcasts, YouTube, and Instagram series. Each new show will support our second annual campaign that showcases cannabis culture in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Let's go. Kicking off on July 10th, yesterday, and ending December 15th, the North American Weed Tour will showcase over 250 respected cannabis businesses and entrepreneurs who will share invaluable perspectives and knowledge from their real-life experiences working in cannabis, both recreational, medical, and the traditional markets. Shout out to the OGs and the trappers out there. So we got a really dope graphic. I encourage you guys to check it out. We're going to post that here in a few moments. Here are the podcasts and the live stream series. Are you guys ready? The first one that we are officially announcing, 420 University, hosted by Betty Crocker Bakes, your boy J Ping right here, and Taylor Hart, as well as Aaron Lapsansky. We also are relaunching Blunt Talk, okay? Blunt Talk will be music artists, but instead of it just being the Pacific Northwest, instead of Blunt Talk just being for the Pacific Northwest, we're opening it up to the rest of the country. So we have 5 months of curation, themes, and styles. Month 1 for the North American Weed Tour, oil. All of July, we're talking oil. All of August, we're doing exotics and strains and international. All of September, craft timber in September. Okay, we got it locked in, and then in October, Croptober. Duh, we're talking growing, trimming, processing, distribution, everything about selling weed, the whole process, everything. Okay, and then in November, we've renamed November. November is no longer No Shave November. November is MSOvember. Let's go. MSOs the whole month of November. Why? Because someone's got to talk about the MSOs. They're everywhere. It's just a lot to cover. And then in December, we only get 15 days for December. It's cookies month. So you already know cookie strains, dispensaries, bud tender interviews, education. You guys, 5 months of curation, cannabis culture at its finest. Mexico, Canada, the United States. And I also need to include that we are launching the International Cannabis Podcast as well. Shout out to my man Ian Rasman. He's in the comments over here. He's over here chilling, watching the live stream. Shout out to my man Ian, Los Angeles Normal in the building. Okay. Ian and I, he's going to be in Berlin for ICBC, the International Cannabis Business Conference, here this week and for the next about 8 to 10 days. And so we're very excited to tap in with Ian while he's traveling overseas to talk to us about what cannabis is like in Germany. So stay tuned, tap in. The International Cannabis Podcast coming in hot as well. So let me finish reading these. 420 University, Blunt Talk, Bud Tender Boot Camp, the Canadian Cannabis Podcast, Digital Trapper Institute, DTI, the Gas or Trash series, the Grow and Tell podcast, the Higher Health podcast, the Step Academy, the Higher Women podcast, International Cannabis Podcast, Legacy Cannabis Podcast, the Mids Report, the Midwest Cannabis Podcast, the Morning Joint Podcast, the Northeast Cannabis Podcast, and the official North American Weed Tour Podcast. Now, most of you guys might wonder, man, why are they calling everything something cannabis podcast? Because these are cannabis podcasts. Because these are designed for cannabis culture in their area, in their niche, in their lane. Okay, so y'all better tap in. We're teaching y'all about weed. Let me tell you a little bit about each of these shows. Okay, 420 University. If you want to learn how to do anything related to weed, we're going to teach you anything. Blunt Talk. This is for the music artists. Ralphie, James, any of the homies, Justin, any of the homies that do music, send them this way. We want to get them interviewed on Blunt Talk. And up next, Bud Tender Boot Camp. If you're a bud tender or you want to be a bud tender, this is your chance to get trained up. We have an entire boot camp of 5 months worth of education content. If you want to become a bud tender or you want to become a better bud tender, this will get your ass in shape in terms of education and knowledge. Up next, we've got the Canadian Cannabis Podcast. Shout out to Jordan Fleury up in Canada. This man is going to be interviewing Canadian legacy operators, growers, dispensaries, bud tenders, everybody that we can up in the Canadian cannabis scene. Tap in. Digital Trapper Institute. This goes out to all the marketers and entrepreneurs out there, the business owners. We're going to teach you how to digitally trap. We're going to teach you how to do your business, how to run it better from start to finish. It's an exciting time. Up next, the Gas or Trash Instagram series that also has a monthly podcast attached to it. So we'll be doing 3 weeks of Instagram live stream performances. Think of it like an open mic or a comedian type of roast. And we'll be doing that, which is very exciting. And then at the end of the month, we'll have a podcast series with the 3 guests that were the most popular from each week. And we'll interview you and you can share some new music for our fans. Up next, we've got the Grow and Tell podcast. Our teammate, Aaron Lapsansky, has a master's degree in rhizosphere biology, which is plant soil and nutrition and things of that nature. So she's going to help us teach people about growing. She's going to interview growers across the country that work for the biggest, best, and most respected brands. So a lot of good free game there. We're also launching the Higher Health podcast. This is with our homegirl P from Inner Chi. She has great energy. and is going to help make sure you guys stay balanced with a positive mindset and maintain a higher health for you guys. Up next, we've got the Step Academy. For us, the Step Academy is strains, terpenes, extracts, and products. So we'll be teaching you in depth about strains, terpenes, extracts, and various products in the market. Excuse me. After that, we've got the Hire Women podcast. One of our head editors, Taylor Hart, she is interviewing women in the music and cannabis space that have higher level positions. So we want to, extract some of the knowledge and inspire other women to do great things. We've got the International Cannabis podcast, which I described already. You've got the Legacy Cannabis podcast hosted by Adam Ill. Adam is going to be interviewing legacy people. Today, he's going to be interviewing our CEO and founder, Mitch Pfeiffer. Talk about his history in cannabis and what it was like and how we started to respect my region. After that, we've got the Mids Report, which is me. We've got the Midwest Cannabis podcast. After that, shout out to the Cannabis Library in Grant Patterson. He's interviewing people from the Midwest, 4 different states. We have the Morning Joint podcast hosted by me. We've got the Northeast Cannabis podcast hosted by Jake Robinson, currently of Skunk Magazine. And last but not least, we have the official North American Weed Tour podcast. So a lot of great stuff. A direct quote from me and then Mitch. The North American Weed Tour was created to reach out and establish new relationships with cannabis people worldwide. Launching all these podcasts and working with so many great people allows our brand to grow exponentially, share education and knowledge, and showcase a bunch of really great people and businesses. Mitch, when we were looking at the 22 tour, we all agreed that legal cannabis had grown immensely since last year. It was an easy decision to begin working on expanding right along with it. Our approach has always been to understand, listen, and report on the culture. So this year we were trying to catch up and get ahead of the curve. If you have a legal cannabis company and looking to get your story out to real weed people who love cannabis, whether industry or consumer, these podcasts and this campaign is a great way to insert yourself into the conversation. So our retail partnerships for the tour include Berkshire Roots, Cape Cod Cannabis, Canopy Club, Diamond Green, Dockside Cannabis, Green Rhino, High West Cannabis, High Season, Illicana, Litco, Puff and Chill, Megan's Organic Market, Mother Nature's Remedy, The Reef, Tree Factory, Trippy Hippie, and West Coast Cannabis Club. Shout out to these dispensaries representing Bellingham, Washington, Palm Desert, California, Port Hueneme, Seattle, Woodland Hills, California, San Luis Obispo, California, Linwood, Washington, downtown LA, West LA, Adelanto, California, Denver, Colorado, Tacoma, Washington, Santa Barbara, California, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and Boston. We've got people from East Coast to West Coast, sea to shining sea, and we are looking for more retail partners. So anybody that knows a dispensary, anybody that has a dispensary, please feel free to tap in. I am going to read through our media and strategic partners for this tour. You guys, we are making an announcement about the North American Weed Tour today. Yesterday was 7/10. Happy Oil Day to everybody. Happy belated Oil Day to the cannabis world, to all the fam. We're officially announcing the launch of 17 new podcasts, 17 shows that we'll be streaming for the next 5 months about North America's weed culture. So right now I'm about to read the media, PR, and strategic partners for our tour, okay? The first one, 10buds.com, 40 Tons brand. Shout out to 40 Tons, you know what I'm saying? Adam Ill, AZ Cannabis News, aka Arizona Cannabis News. Hold on, let me light this again. Beard Bros Farms, let's go, Beard Bros. Betty Crocker Bakes, budsfeed.com, Cannabiscapes, my boy Cannabiscapes, man, shout out Greg. Cannabis Talk 101, Cannabis and Movies Club. Shout out our public relations partner, Alana Cohen. Emerald Market for a wonderful launch party last night in Hollywood. We had a rooftop Hollywood party, man. We were able to pass out so many chillums for free to people. Man, it was great. Star Wars night, it was, man, huge. Gondrepreneur.com. Shout out to G4 Live for being our Mexico partner. Hetty, New Jersey. Honeysuckle Magazine. Illinois News Joint. Inner Chi. Mr. Cannabis. Natura. Neon Joint. Pedal Fast. Pop Brothers at Law. Pre-Packs. Puff Creative. Skunk Magazine. The Bluntness. The Cannabis Library. The Kenigma. And the Weed Blog. It's an honor to be working with all you guys. It's an honor to be sharing cannabis culture with all of you. So thank you first and foremost for everything, you guys. We really appreciate it here, and we really look forward to connecting and sharing more of the culture. Okay, so big shout out to you guys as well, and all of the various partners that we have. This is episode 23 of the Morning Joint Podcast. I'm going to continue down the line talking about some of the various stories and things that we've got going on. So, as part of my segue here, we're going to discuss three of our podcasts more in depth. We're going to start off actually with the Digital Trapper Institute. This one is one of my favorites. From the culture, born to trap. Okay, so the Digital Trapper Institute aims to inspire entrepreneurs with digital marketing tips and tricks. Respect My Region was founded in 2011, you guys, during a time where business practices were beginning to shift into the digital world. Fast forward 11 years later, and here we are launching the Digital Trapper Institute. Okay. What we're going to be doing here is launching video content. We're going to be interviewing select guests, and we're going to teach people how to do marketing at a higher level. When we say, when someone hits us up and we're working at the office or we're working at the crib, what we say is that we're trapping. We literally are like, yo, we're trapping out this work. Yo, I'm trapping out this content. Yo, I'm trapping out these edits. We've been saying shit like that for years. So we had to create the Digital Trapper Institute because we want to teach you guys about our hustle. We want to teach you guys about how to take care and be organized and start your business and take it to the next level. So again, to anybody watching this, make sure you guys tap in the Digital Trapper Institute. It's going to be posted on our YouTube. We don't have an official timeline for how we want to release the videos just yet. We're working that out today. But you can definitely just make sure you follow the playlist that we're creating. It's going to be a great experience for you guys to learn. We're going to teach you all about cannabis marketing, dispensary marketing, delivery service marketing, marketing for small businesses, marketing for influencers, marketing for rappers. It's going to be great. This whole institute is going to be designed just to help people. It allows us to organize our thoughts and our relationships and create content that truly, truly, truly helps people expand their business and grow their success and amplify what they're doing. So we're very excited. We're very excited. Make sure you guys tap in. One of the other shows that we're also we've rebranded it and are relaunching it is the Hire Women podcast. Okay. This podcast is all about elevating women. It's all about elevating people to understand people's successes, what they've already done, and then helping people understand what it takes to get there, amplifying success, giving people the inspiration, the knowledge, the resources to get further and further. This is primarily dedicated to cannabis. However, we will be intertwining music, technology, as well as cannabis in here. On season 2, we do have Taylor Hart hosting this. On season 1, we had Maddie Forbes. Shout out to Maddie for busting it down and holding it down, making it all happen. We're very excited. Episode 2, we posted, we featured Erin Lepsansky. She's the host for our Grow and Tell podcast. Again, she's got a master's degree in rhizosphere biology, plant soil. So we really try to showcase people and help them leverage their knowledge. She also manages a cannabis retailer and has done so for, I believe, 3 years. So again, if you're trying to understand what it takes to get into dispensaries, to get a job, to make it as a grower, to do staffing, if you're trying to just figure out how to make it in cannabis, Erin is a great wealth of knowledge. So shout out to Erin, shout out to Taylor, shout out to Maddie. Hire Women podcast season 2 already underway. Let's go. All right. Last but not least, Taylor coming in hot, Blunt Talk podcast. She sparks up thoughtful conversations with local music artists. The first true season was dedicated to Seattle and Washington and Oregon and local artists truly around that area. And now we're going to be, again, curating it in a direction across the country. So any music artists that are looking to be interviewed on a podcast or that are looking for content about them, their chance to get their first 15 minutes of micro fame, please feel free to DM us and tap in. The email to contact us is info@respectmyregion.com. Do not just send us links to your music. Please introduce yourself, who you are, what you're about, and include links and photos, please and thank you. If you want to DM us, again, please feel free to hit us on respectmyregion.usa. Shout out to everybody that's been streaming along here with us. 17 new podcasts, man. Respect My Region. We're coming in hot. Morning joint's going to continue Monday morning. My goal is every day at 9 a.m. Technically speaking, I'm going to try to get these up and out earlier. I'd like to be getting them going at 6 or 7 a.m. We'll see. I need to boss up. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Up next, we have some good friends of ours over at Bear Humboldt and URSA Extracts. They released some new live rosin cartridges. So let me go ahead and get this open for you guys here to check out. And let's go ahead and view what they've got going on over there. So give me 1 second. Here we go. You guys ready? You guys ready? All right. So what's cool about URSA is that URSA, they did come out with some liquid diamond live resin vapes probably 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. And they've been crushing. I know that they're terpy, right? We know that they're quality. Bear Humboldt does a great job of sourcing from really, really terpy craft Humboldt County cultivations and grows and farms up there. So it only makes sense for them to drop a product that is solventless and rosin. So what I'm looking at here is their URSA rosin. We've got solventless, extracted using only water and ice, 100% grown and made in Humboldt County. It's single strain. They are not blending strains to create these. So there's really a strain called Gravity Apple. That's pretty cool. And then they use a fully ceramic cartridge, which is clearly, in our world of vapes, it's supposed to be the cleanest, safest, and the best route to go for a true tasty experience. Let's go ahead and read just one of the quotes real quick. We've refined our solventless extraction methods over the past couple of decades, said Mark Westgren, solventless extraction manager at Bear Humboldt. Many of us became familiar with these techniques prior to legalization. Now we're excited to share the craft products that come from ice, water, and some careful agitation. Our success in creating some of the finest rosin is supported by having access to the finest fresh frozen cannabis grown here in Humboldt County. This incredible flower and our expert methods are clearly a winning combination. So they've got a lot of great things going on. Make sure you guys tap in with URSA and Bear Humboldt. All right. Up next, we've got up next the Fruity Pebbles strain. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Fruity Pebbles strain, but we recently covered this as one of our strain profiles, and this was a delicious option. I've smoked it a few different times, and each time it has always been. It's sweet. It's kind of creamy. There's this light pine, and then there are tropical flavors to it. So, shout out, I think Bobby's in here. Shout out, Bobby. Bobby, who did we smoke the Fruity Pebbles from? I feel like that was GLW, right? I think it was GLW. Let me light this back up again. All right. So, and then also too, the Synergy has the Fruity Pebbles as well. So shout out to Synergy Cannabis. Fruity Pebbles OG smells and tastes similar to the cereal it was named after. Again, like it's supposed to be Green Ribbon, Tahoe Alien, and Granddaddy Purple, creating this unique, lightly piney, fruity, tropical experience. Supposedly relieves stress, pain, and depression. But obviously that's all up for debate because weed is weed, and I can't legally say that it does any of that. You're hit with some different scents. So sweet, citrus, lemony. Again, I said creamy, piney, a little citrus. I know that it's there. This is a really delicious option. And we've got a Leafly reviewer here. Hands down, my favorite strain. The only high I bother remembering by name. Makes me feel super happy, friendly, loving, relaxed, ready to have fun or get some work done. Man, potency is good for where it's at too. So big shout out to the Fruity Pebbles strain. Make sure you guys check it out. Terpenes, limonene, myrcene, beta-caryophyllene. That makes sense. And I'm sure there's definitely some linalool in there. Other strains that are fruity like this: super glue, headband, blackberry kush, papaya, apple fritter, blue cookies, Skittles cake, and cherry cookies. Other delicious options. So make sure you guys tap in with that. All right. What do we got next? A question that everybody may not ask out loud, but you definitely think about it at one time or the other. Is vaping healthier than smoking? So Morning Joint Podcast, article on our website, respectmyregion.com, published on July 11th. Is vaping cannabis healthier than smoking it? Are vape carts healthier? It's important to note that inhaling anything other than oxygen is just plain not safe, okay? But when comparing vaping to smoking, it is thought to be healthier because of the lower temperature and lack of combustion. Research suggests that this is true. Research from Forbes.com, vaping is still less harmful cannabis consumption than smoking. Vaping cannabis oil produces fewer toxins than smoking flower. The research is clear that vaporization is a safer way to inhale cannabis than consumption, says Dr. Roofer, head of biocompatibility and toxicology at Pax Labs. Vaporization produces the purest stream of cannabinoids and terpenes and contains less than 1/1000th the hazardous substances associated with combustion. This means it's easier on the lungs for the consumer and also safer for those around them. The source on that one, ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, Mihan Atrash. Contrarily, smoking cannabis flower releases toxic byproducts such as carbon dioxide, benzene, and aromatic hydrocarbons, which also are all found in tobacco smoke. The higher temperature of smoke can also cause more irritation to the lungs and throat. So I think it's pretty safe to say that vaping cannabis, generally speaking, is safer than smoking it due to the combustion. If you are smoking tobacco products wrapped around your vapes, or you are mixing it or smoking spliffs, then you are definitely smoking products that are less safe than vaping. Now, let's go ahead and acknowledge that there are vape carts on the traditional market and legal vape carts in the rec market, and those are definitely different experiences. The traditional market vape carts are not tested. They're typically pesticides, heavy metals leaking, solvents such as terpenes starting to oxidize, and so there's a lot of things that go into a bad vape product as well. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Our friends at Urban Aroma are literally your plug for cannabis in New York City and Washington, D.C., okay? Brands, delivery, dispensaries, they operate in New York, D.C., and Barcelona, and they are able to help you find cannabis, okay? The Cannabis platform was built from the underground and moves directly from within the culture. Beyond finding cannabis in New York and DC, folks can find a platform for art, activism, and social equity. The leadership team at Urban Aroma is filled with music and culture heads. Headed up by M1 of Dead Prez, filmmaker Umi, and John Monopoly, the former manager of Kanye West. We were able to link up with M1 and Umi of Urban Aroma while at MG Unpacked in New York through our mutual connection at 40 Tons Brand. When we came into one of the shops on the Lower East Side, it was dope to see 40 Tons merch on display and find out how deep their ties run. It was crazy to connect with them. So they're launching a summer series of events at Legacy New York City with Styles P. Rakim and Mike Epps. 25% of the series events go to partner organizations like Mission Green and Fortune Society. So this is super dope. John Monopoly, along with the rest of Urban Aroma, has challenged Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, to ensure social equity and legacy operators are not left out of the licensing process. So Urban Aroma is doing some big things out there in New York City. Make sure you guys tap in. The best place right now to follow them is on Instagram. Just type in Urban Aroma with an underscore afterwards, and that'll come up for you guys. Super easy. All right, here we go. We got a couple more stories. You all ready? Mike Tyson's Reed brand 2.0 is expanding. They just did a raise, and recently they just dropped another product called the Mike Bites, the little ear-shaped gummies. So that was super, super interesting. Let's go ahead. The next story that we have are psilocybin mushrooms safe to use. So this is a comprehensive little research piece that we created, talking about psilocybin and different kinds of drugs and things of that nature. So we legally, can't recommend or say or deny or this. And so this is all from research that we have done. So various psychedelic substances such as psilocybin mushrooms can be used and and have been recommended for various types of health benefits. So usually they're illegal if they're like hallucinogenics are considered a drug. So it makes it a tough situation to truly do research. Okay. It's important, everybody, to recognize that a lot of things that are illegal today were made during times when they just didn't have a good scientific understanding of things, and then because the laws were made the way they were, research and stuff made it very difficult, or lack of research, lack of funding, lack of approval, things being illegal made it impossible, damn near, to really get things done and move forward, and research to be done. So psychedelic drugs or hallucinogens are substances that have the potential to change perceptions and cognition by affecting all of the senses of an individual. Psilocybin mushrooms are also known as magic mushrooms or shrooms. They're often available in various forms of gummies, chocolate, and then now there's concentrates and tinctures. These mushrooms contain hallucinogenic psilocybin. Magic mushrooms make you feel magical in terms of hear, smell, taste, touch. All those things can be different, and sometimes they're pleasant. Sometimes it can feel the opposite. There's some form of trips. There's different forms of them. Blue meanies, for example, are a strain, have a large amount of psilocybin. It has, double or triple the average amount of most psychedelic mushrooms. Um, they're available online depending on what country you live in. If you're in Canada, you can get them from Organic Shroom Canada, which is pretty funny. But you just keep in mind, of all the different outcomes of using shrooms, whether it's legal, illegal in your area. We do not recommend or say we're not sitting here saying you should do that at all. Effects. So here's some effects of psilocybin mushrooms, and I'll also describe some of my experiences as well afterwards. Um, Sense of relaxation and calmness, hallucinations, euphoria, heightened energy, weak sense of focus, heightened awareness, dizziness, sweat and chills, irregular heart rate, numbness, or other bodily sensations. I've also experienced just straight up motor control loss, couldn't walk. Just my legs were so high, I couldn't walk, just so tingly. Uncontrollable giggle fits. Everything is funny, just cheesing and just so high. And then my eyes just like this. I took shrooms at the movies last night and just really enjoyed watching the movie that was on and was able to focus on that one. But I also did enjoy being cold. It was cold for the movie for me. So being high and cold was an interesting experience to go through, to say the least. Um, very In some cases, mushrooms, magic mushrooms, can be helpful. There's a couple studies. There's also numerous people that have reported that it's helpful with substance addiction, depression, anxiety, etc. Microdosing is a great thing to consider, from what I've heard, for those things. Most of the time, it is listed as a Schedule One drug, so it is definitely illegal. Um, just having it on you is illegal. Taking it is illegal. Having it kind of in you and driving is super illegal. All that kind of stuff. The conclusion: psilocybin. Are you guys ready? It is important to first educate yourself about any substances you may be considering. Since psilocybin mushrooms are a mind-altering substance, it is important to take precautions. Even though research has shown the possible benefits of ingesting psilocybin mushrooms, you must still consider the potential harm. So even though it's decriminalized, even in some places, even though seemingly it's legal in some places, let's just make sure we get on the brass tacks here. Look it up, be safe, be smart. Okay, that's what that's what I gotta recommend. There's more information available at respectmyregion.com/r-psilocybin-mushrooms-safe. This next story, coming out of California, tax cuts leave California businesses wanting more. So they just dropped the excise tax in California. I believe there was something like 160 some odd dollars worth of tax per pound of flour, and now that's entirely dropped. So you have all these farmers and brands and retail wanting their cut and wanting their margins to increase, but we all know that money's not going to come out of anywhere. Just more weed's going to get sold, and prices are going to stay low, and that's just how it's going to be. Now, I do have a number of music stories. We're gonna read. We're gonna read through this. I'm gonna end on the first story is 10 hip hop shows to go to in Los Angeles this July. I'm gonna end on that one. So Nipsey Hussle's killer was found guilty of first-degree murder. So 3 years, been a little over 3 years since Nipsey was shot and killed outside of his Marathon Collective store on Crenshaw and Slauson. They found the Eric Holder guilty, and he got his ass beat, I think, the day before the trial. So shout out whoever tried to do that to him and make that happen. Yeet and Lyrical Lemonade released Minions trailer with viral Rich Minion song. So shout out Yeet and Lyrical Lemonade coming out with a crazy, great, viral, dope idea. That shit really worked. The first ever Sacred Rose Fest brings Americana legends to Illinois this August. So you guys need to look. If you're anywhere near Illinois or the Midwest, you guys need to check out the Americana style of music and search Sacred Rose Music Festival. All right. It's going to be dope. It's going to be sick. Make sure you guys tap in. Babyface Ray puts family over money in new cold visuals. Babyface Ray is an artist that we've been tapping in with and following for a little while now. Got some really dope music and released this new visual for his single Family Over Money. So definitely worth checking out and tapping in as well. respectmyregion.com/Babyface Ray, Family Over Money. In Tacoma, Washington, Reggae on the Way is bringing the vibes back this year. Make sure you guys tap in if you like the reggae vibes. There's some really dope artists, Jug and a number of others all performing. Big fan. August 20th and 21st, Reggae on the Way in Tacoma. Let's go. And second to last but not least, NBA YoungBoy says after his next album that he's done with rap. So coming out of hot new hip hop, NBA YoungBoy allegedly says after his next album that he is no longer going to be rapping. Do you guys believe it? Drop a comment. Let me know. I personally think that he's too young. He'll come back. He'll be bored. It's going to be motherfucking The Game, where he just continues going and going and going. And then, yes, officially, last but not least, 10 hip-hop shows in July in Los Angeles. I hope you guys are ready. Up first, Currency, July 9th. That just passed. Too Short, July 9th and July 30th. DJ Quick, July 16th in Garden Grove and Pomona. Machine Gun Kelly, July 13th. The Kia Forum in Inglewood. Blast, July 14th. Where's it at? Anaheim, House of Blues. Sean Kingston, July 16th. Soulja Boy, July 16th. Rockstar Club in LA. Who's you got? I don't know. July 19th. That's gonna be El Rey Theater. Wiz Khalifa at YouTube Theater with Logic and 24K Golden. Joey Badass, July 28th at the Novo. So there's a bunch of dope music going down, bunch of great shows going on in Los Angeles. Make sure you guys tap in, follow. This is the 23rd episode of the Morning Joint Podcast. Today is officially day 1 of all the content, all the craziness for the North American Weed Tour. So make sure you guys tap in. Again, we are officially debuting 17 original podcasts today. So we're starting. This is one of the first original podcasts that we're doing, the official debut. Everything before this was soft launches. 22 episodes of soft launch, getting it in, practicing. Now we're up. We got a lot of content coming, a lot of reviews. Make sure you guys tap in. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out. This was episode 23 of the North American Podcast. Today we have the Legacy Cannabis Podcast starting at 4 p.m. PST. So make sure you guys check that out. Streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Please search Respect My Region on any one of those platforms and we'll pop up. On Instagram, we are at respectmyregion.usa. Thank you for your guys' time this morning. I love y'all. North American Weed Tour 2022. J Ping, let's go. We out. I'll see you guys in the next episode, okay? Love y'all.